Let's bring in Mike Boyd. He's an aviation security analyst and co-founder of an aviation consulting company. Mike, welcome.
Thank you.
So how do you think the crew handled the situation? And when a suspected hijacker says they have an explosive belt, how does the crew or the pilot assess the threat?
Well, apparently it looks like EgyptAir did everything right. Number one, they did everything the guy asked for. They probably thought it might not be a real threat, but they treated it like that. But the real key was when it landed in Cyprus and the hostages were let loose, they came off with their carry-on luggage looking more annoyed than scared. What that meant was whoever was handling this with information on board the aircraft, probably the captain, did a very good job of keeping the passengers calm.
What about Egypt's aviation security? It's certainly under scrutiny. Again, as you may remember, in October, someone smuggled explosives, which brought down that Russian plane. And on Tuesday, someone managed to get through with fake explosive belt. How does someone like that, with a fake explosives belt, with wires clearly visible, get through airport security? Does that airport meet international standards, Mike?
It may and it may not. We don't really know, but we know this. I mean, you could put things in your carry-on luggage and sort of assemble them again when you get on the airplane and say, look at my explosive belt. So and accuse the Egyptians of not having good security. This may be something nobody could have stopped. But again, there's a trend line. What happened in Sharm el-Sheikh was inexcusable and clearly shows nobody cared.
We were talking to our reporter, Stephanie Freed. This hijacker had some personal issues, something about his wife. Anyway, changing story. But if a passenger is unstable, is there anything the crew can do to keep them from boarding a plane?
It's very hard to find somebody. You have thousands of people going through an airport, and people act normally when they get on an airplane, and they might do something after they get on. So identifying someone who may turn into it's very difficult to do, and flight attendants aren't trained to do that. Most of us aren't trained, and most of us probably couldn't do it. So this is what happens when you have a billion people flying every year on airplanes. You're going to get one or two of these people that aren't right.
And when you have a hijacking situation and an ensuing hostage crisis, Mike, how crucial are the negotiators that are summoned to basically negotiate with this person?
Oh, you have to have a lot of skills. Basically, what they were doing after most of the passengers were off, the real issue was they were trying to talk him off the ledge, if you will. Please don't jump and take everybody with you. Your wife is here. There's skills like that to appeal to someone to put the gun down or put the belt down and get off. That's a very tough job, and that does take skills. Most of us can't do that.
And finally, Egypt's tourism industry has taken a lot of hits. Do you think it can recover this time?
Well, I mean, Egypt's done very well over the last 5,000 years. I think they'll get through this one. But I think what happened in Brussels and elsewhere, you're going to have an issue with people wanting to travel, certainly from, say, China or from the U.S. to go to see the pyramids. They may put that off as a result of this. But again, they've gotten over this before.
Mike Boyd, we certainly appreciate your perspective, sir.